Hello, AP students. It's good to see you. If you're wondering where Mr. Wood is right now, here's where I actually am. Look at that. Looks pretty nice. Summertime. Yeah, was I looking the wrong way? Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. So if you're wondering where I am, I'm in Trujillo, Peru with my family right now, hopefully having a good time. I hope you guys have had a good weekend too. Let's talk about our work that we are going to need to get done while I am gone. So first off, let's start off by this calendar right here. If our incredible substitute teacher who is watching the class while I am gone could pass these out, that would be wonderful. Okay, just want to pause for a moment while you're passing those out. Go ahead. All right, and we're back, hopefully. Anyway, so hopefully these have all been passed out at this point right now. And if not, pause it and pass them out. But let's begin and continue. Whatever. All right, so December 2016, today is the 12th. So what you're going to want to do is follow this calendar every day before break and after break. I'm going to come back on January 5th. I'll be working that day, probably doing a lot of correcting, lesson planning. And on Friday, I'll be back. So here's the load. I would say it's probably just a tiny little bit less homework than normal, but let's take a look at it. So today, we're going to do our vocab test from 4.1. That will be real quick here. We're going to get that done. So what we're going to do is today is we're going to do the vocab test. On the vocab test, we're going to do a few things differently. Number one, you will not hand in your note cards. I'm not going to ask our substitute teacher to look at those, so don't hand those in. It's going to purely go on your test score. I'll explain that in just a moment. And then when you're done, what I want you to do is take out your SAQ number 2, and you can continue to work on it. If there are any notes missing from your packet, or if SAQ 1 is not done yet, you can also work on that. So when the vocab test is done, work on that. Once every single student is done with the vocab test, then you may gather together in groups of 2 or 3, no foursomes, only groups of 2 and 3, and you may read your rough drafts of your SAQ out loud. I hope you are all done because these are due tomorrow. But if you're not done, you need to get going on that. Listen to someone else. If you're not quite done, work with 2 other people who are done and make sure you get some good ideas down. So take the vocab test, do your best job you possibly can. Then when everyone's done, work on your own, making any corrections, any changes to any of your documents from 4.1 to 4.1. Then when everyone's done with the test, groups of 2 to 3, work on these until the end of the hour at 12:40 today because our schedule was a little bit different today. All right, well, let's go take a look at our vocab test and our words. And here they are. So right now, why don't every single person make sure you get a piece of paper out and put your name on it. Go ahead and do that right now. As you're getting that piece of paper out, make sure your name's on it and write vocab test 4.1 part 1. Here is how the test will be just a little bit different. And our sub, if at any point you want to pause this, go ahead and pause it if students are getting their papers out and you want to give them like 30 seconds to do that. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I want you to write the new school. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms I put this time. You may pick 5. If you put 6, I will grade your first 5. So put 5 down, the 5 that you feel like you know the best. And then for old school as well, do the 5 that you feel you know the best. And I'm going to grade all of these out of 2 points for when you turn your packet in tomorrow. So this vocab test, you'll turn it in today. Then your substitute teacher will put this in a pile with your packets you turn in tomorrow, and that'll be 4.1 part 1. And I'll be able to correct these when I get back from Peru. What does Peru look like again? I'm sure it's awesome. I'm sure I'm having a blast right now. But you guys got to take your test. Let's get back to that. All right. So, oh no, that's not it. What am I looking at here again? Oh yeah, there we are. That's right. So if our substitute teacher can just pause it while I have a nice, handsome look on my face. All right, so I hope you guys did well on the test. I hope your scores are good. Once the test is done, gather together in groups of 2 to 3, and you may work on these until the end of the hour. Make sure you are using your time wisely. All right, you guys are awesome. You may stay awesome.